You're watching News at Prime. Let's lead you to this now. The African heads of state and government leaders did not offer any tangible plan to deal with violence in the volatile eastern DRC region. The two-day United, or should I say African Union Summit in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, discussing, among other issues, the peace and security matters on the continent. Experts and Congolese nationals living in South Africa sharing their views a little earlier. Let's take a listen. Here's what Ziniko Mhlaba compiled for us.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has been mired in internal violence for years. It's estimated that millions of people have been displaced in attacks by the rebel groups. Critics have questioned the approach used by the international community in handling the crisis.
There hasn't been any success rate in terms of escalated military conflicts in war-torn zones such as Democratic Republic of Congo. We can see that nothing has changed. What we can see now on the statistics that we're only discussing now the M23 rebels. They have increased the number of rebels. They've got about 120 rebels in the region who was actually formed. So that just tells you the story that the system and the strategy that they're using to send more troops and arms and ammunition as actually not helping the world.
Some Congolese nationals have been forced to flee, embarking on treacherous journeys across the continent. South Africa is one of the destinations identified as a safe refuge.
I moved to South Africa in the year 2000. On that time, the politics in Congo was the time when Mobutu was supposed to leave the power. Then the Kabila, the father, was coming. Then after that, there was also the pressure from the Rwandese who now wanted to overthrow Kabila, the father. Then the war came up in the east of part of Congo. Then that made me flee from Congo to come to South Africa.
Despite having settled in South Africa, this Congolese national says there is no place like home.
I still have some family members there. The situation is not that good for all. Because war is not something which is pleasant, which anybody can like to live in that condition. But some, they don't have the chance to flee like I flee, so they condemn to live in that condition. Some are dying, some are disabled, they're becoming disabled.
Some international commentators have slammed the shortcomings of the Congolese government.
The issue of the contradictions that we observe in the Congo in terms of how democracy or democratization process has regressed, violation of constitutional democracy and oppressions, because as you know right now there are many journalists, your colleague like Mr. Sandis Bujakera of Jeune Afrique, who's incarcerated.
The African Union is concerned about the ongoing conflict in eastern DRC. African leaders held a two-day meeting in Addis Ababa to find solutions. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ziniko Mhlaba in Johannesburg.